hello friends, and Happy New Year. It is 2024 and we're gonna start off with a reading vlog. Unfortunately, on January 1st, I decided to read a book called Pineapple Street, and honestly, I got like 37% of the way through the book and nothing was happening. I felt like there was no plot to the book, so I unfortunately DNF'd that book, even though a couple influencers that I follow, they rated that book at least 4 stars. So I was really excited to read that book, but I'm kind of sad that I had to DNF it. But 37% of the way in, nothing was happening, so I felt like it wasn't worth continuing the read. Maybe I'll pick it up later in the year if I suddenly find the urge to do it, but we did DNF that book yesterday as of January 6th. So I picked up Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood, and as you guys can see, I have a couple of her books back here, and I do want to read more Ali Hazelwood books, but this is the first one of hers that I've started with, and honestly I really like it. I believe someone said that this is her branching out into the young adult genre. I believe she's mostly like in romance and like something else. This is what I started with last night. I am about 90 pages in. I'm on chapter 8, and that's how far I got last night. This was such a breath of fresh air. I really have been enjoying this so far, and I really like her writing style, and just it really grabs my attention, unlike Pineapple Street. I'm gonna try to finish this up hopefully in the next day or two, and then I'm not sure what I'm gonna read next. I know I had like a TBR list. My TBR is constantly changing. I'm really liking this book, so it's honestly making me think maybe I'll read The Love Hypothesis next and more Ali Hazelwood books and like stay on like this good streak of reading that I have right now. And then maybe I'll try Book Lovers. I do want to read more hardback books, but I also want to read the ACOTAR series. My friend and I have been talking about doing like our own little mini book club, and ACOTAR is a book that like a book series that both of us want to read, and if we like it, we'll move on to Throne of Glass. But I don't want to pay for the paperback books unless I know I'm going to like it. I can easily sell them on Facebook Marketplace because I see that happening all the time. I don't want to waste the money unless I know I actually like the series. I should be getting a copy of ACOTAR on my Kindle in the next 2 weeks. So hopefully I can keep reading these paperbacks that I have here in the next 2 weeks to keep me busy, so that I can switch over and start reading ACOTAR on my Kindle whenever I get that. And if I like it, then I'll go to the store and buy the paperbacks, because like they're pretty cheap at Walmart right now. I think like online most of the books are going for like 15 to 20 bucks, and at like Walmart and Target I could buy it for like 12 or 10. So might as well save a little bit of money if I can. I'll make this like a weekly reading vlog and let you guys see like what I'm up to over the next week and how many books I get through.
And then after I filmed those clips, I pretty much just sat here like this and read the book, because that's what I do.
I finished it. It's 10:30 p.m. and yeah, I finished the rest of this book. Some of you guys are gonna look at my Goodreads account, and if you do, you will see on Goodreads, I think I rated it 3 stars. Technically speaking, before anyone comes for me, I personally would like to say I would like to rate this somewhere between a 3.5 and a 3.75. I really enjoyed this book. I think it's a really cool young adult romance. Some scenes, they weren't spicy, but they definitely kind of like borderline, like, okay, where are you going here? I didn't mind it. It was actually okay for this book. And overall, I thought the story was really cute, and I thought it was a little bit different to kind of make chess like obviously like there's the characters and everything else that's happening in the book and the entire plot, but like it's kind of cool that like it's centered around chess. I don't know how else to explain that. I might be an Ali Hazelwood fan because I'm gonna pick up another one of her books as my next book. So if you guys have seen my previous videos, you guys know that I did like little book hauls, and I've also gone to a little free library. I got this book from the little free library, and I bought this book off of Facebook Marketplace. These are 2 other books, obviously by Ali Hazelwood, and yeah, I'm gonna read one of these 2 next. I'm thinking I'm gonna read The Love Hypothesis first because this has been highly recommended to me many times. I'm gonna check out this book next, and then I'm also gonna try reading Love on the Brain because I might just be in my Ali Hazelwood era right now, and I might just need to read all of her books. So as we discussed last night, this is going to be my next read. I've had this book for a while, so I feel like I need to just finally get into it. But first things first, I am going to take the jacket off because it's so pretty, but honestly they just get in the way. So we're gonna start on this book, and then I might actually run to the store later and pick up a copy of ACOTAR. Technically my Libby app says that I have less than 2 weeks, but I'm kind of flying through books again, and I feel like maybe I should just pick up the physical copy. Or I'll see if they have the first book of the Throne of Glass series, or maybe the next book in ACOTAR. I'm not 100% sure. It might be an impulse buy, but we're not gonna tell the husband.
This is so cute because this clip is so deceiving. It makes you think that I actually sat here and read for a very long time, but I did not. Most of the time while I was reading this book, I was just thinking about the ACOTAR series and how I want to be reading that.
Last night I didn't actually end up reading too much more of this book. I probably got like another chapter or two through it, and it's still a good book, and I'm hoping maybe I can finish it in the next day or two because it seems pretty easy of a read. But part of the reason why I kind of need to finish that book first is because one of the books that I had on hold at the library is finally available. So I think is it Circe? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, by Madeline Miller. I've heard really good things about this book as well. My loan is finally ready. So I need to finish that book so I can read this one before I have to return it, because there is a long like hold line, and I believe technically when there's like a long hold line, you can't renew the book. So I really only have 2 weeks to read it. While I wasn't planning for this particular vlog to be me reading like a bunch of books and actually showing you guys like how much I read in a week, because realistically I normally don't read this much. I'm normally getting through like maybe a few chapters throughout the week because my work life, like, it's very busy, so I don't always have time to read. And now I am getting back into half marathon training, so you guys are gonna see a bit more of that now that my foot is finally healed up. Basically, I just have too many books on hold right now, and all of the holds are coming through sooner than I thought they were going to, and I really need to get reading. Not exactly what I wanted to do. But realistically, I'm definitely not reading this many books normally in a week. I mean, you guys will follow me online and you guys know I do read pretty quickly, and I do get through a lot of books, but this particular week, I've somehow gotten through more than I normally would. But yeah, this is why I'm not sure how many books I'm going to be able to read during this particular weekly vlog, because A Court of Thorns and Roses, it says I'm 144 in line and there's 160 copies in use. So I'm getting there. I'm getting really close to getting a copy, and it says less than 2 weeks for this book. So if it happens to be available, I might switch over and read that instead, because I really want to read it. I'm just like not the kind of person who likes to read multiple stories at the same time, especially fictional stories, because they're all very like different, and it's like my brain to only be in one world or one universe at a time.
I went to the store to look for the first ACOTAR book because I was just curious, and I noticed that it was sold out, which was kind of shocking because it was only like a day or two since I last saw it actually for sale in this section. But they did have the second one, so I mean, that's good.
Hey friends, so we're gonna do a little mini haul because hubby is not home, and he probably wouldn't approve of this purchase, and I really hope he doesn't see this video. But I went to Walmart because the other day I saw A Court of Thorns and Roses, and you guys have heard me talk about it a bunch in this vlog, that I wanted to buy the physical copy in case the whole library situation isn't working out, because it's really hard to get books from the library and like plan your reading schedule around that, because you never know when a book is going to be available. So I checked out 2 different Walmarts in my area. The first one I went to had nothing. They had like some later books in the series for A Court of Thorns and Roses. Not stuff I want to buy at the moment because I'm not there yet. I don't even know if I'm gonna like the series. And then the second one I just went to, they didn't have the first book, but they did have the second book. So I picked up this one, A Court of Mist and Fury. I figured if I do like the first book, I'm gonna read through that pretty quickly. And I just decided to order the first one on Amazon. I try not to order stuff off Amazon, but they had it for 10 bucks, and it's significantly cheaper than where I'm seeing it anywhere else, and I have Amazon Prime. So I just ordered it. That should be here on Sunday, so probably towards the end of this vlog, I will have that first book, and then I have the second one, so I can just read through, and then we'll decide from there if I want to continue the series. And if I do, at least the other books are easier to find. I did look on Amazon to see if it was cheaper to buy as a set versus like buying each of the books individually, and me buying them at Walmart and possibly finding some better deals like online or even like used in my area, because I have seen other later parts of the series on Facebook Marketplace for a lot cheaper. I should be able to save a lot of money by just buying them used the rest of the series. So this is the first book we picked up. And then because I have been looking for this book used on Facebook Marketplace, I have found it, but not like within my area. I bought Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. You guys know I've been loving Ali Hazelwood books. So I picked this one up. I'm gonna slip it into the shelf behind me with all the other Ali Hazelwood, and we'll have this one on the TBR for whenever I just need something fun, because I know I like this author. I did see that Ali Hazelwood has 2 other books coming out. One I think is called Bride, and I can't remember the other one, but I'm actually debating pre-ordering those books because I thoroughly am enjoying her as an author. So I'm thinking maybe I should do that. We're gonna add these to the shelf so hubby hopefully doesn't notice. Okay, so it's early in the morning and I just woke up, I checked my phone. ACOTAR is available. I got it from my Libby app. So now I have Circe and I have ACOTAR loaned from the library, and I have no idea how I'm gonna be able to read both books. Plus I already started Love Theoretically, and like I don't wanna end that now that I've like started it. I have 3 books. I was really worried about this happening and having all of my books be due. They like gave me like an estimate, like, oh, about 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever. They were all very much spaced out when I initially picked them up, and I was like, yeah, that's fine, because like if they're this spaced out, like the likelihood of them all being due in the same or picked up like in the same week is very low. It's happening. It's happening. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna return Circe. I don't have the motivation to read that book right now, and I personally want to read A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's on my Kindle. I have it. This is very awkward because we talked about this yesterday. I have the paperback version that's gonna show up on Sunday. Technically, my library loan says I have 21 days to read this, so that should be plenty of time. But I do have the paperback coming. Of course, after I purchased the paperback, I was searching Facebook Marketplace last night. There is somebody in my area who is selling 3 books in the ACOTAR series. They're all hardbacks. She's selling 3 hardback copies of ACOTAR, A Court of Silver Flames, I believe that's what the 4th book, and then the Frost and Something, which is book 3.5. I already own book 2, so I just need book 3. I'm buying the set. I'm gonna have all the physical copies. She's selling the set for $15. 3 hardback books in the ACOTAR series for $15. Probably because she doesn't have the jackets. I can just go to Etsy and like see if somebody has like a cool book jacket for those hardbacks, so they look cool on my shelf. So things are working out.
So I proceeded to read a little bit while I was drinking some matcha tea before I had to go off and hop on some work stuff. Honestly, this vlog is going to be a little bit chaotic because it ended up being way more eventful than I planned for.
Okay, so the lady from Facebook Marketplace said that I could essentially show up right now and go pick up the books. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna go run because her house is like 20-ish minutes away, even though like it's like close on the map. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go pick up the books, and I'm gonna check back in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I got all 3 books, and the girl was super nice about it. I picked up the books. She did lose the dust jackets for a couple of them, which like isn't a big deal to me. She said that she only read them once, and like honestly they look like in perfect condition, so that is great.
These are the 3 books I ended up getting. They do look a little bit worn, but honestly, they look just fine. The pages are pretty much intact. The 2 books that are missing dust jackets, I'm pretty sure they're actually like first edition prints, because when I opened up the book, I did check when they were printed and it says 2015.
But anyway, I rearranged my shelves so that I could have the books on display. So I'm kind of sad now because this paperback doesn't match my other hard copy versions of this book. Good morning. It's Thursday and I woke up not feeling so great. I went to bed last night with a like really sore throat, and so I just texted my boss and I just took off today. I'm probably going to sit here and read a bit because I didn't do much yesterday like I planned to. So today was kind of a fail. I didn't film anything because I wasn't doing anything. And honestly, it kind of hurts to talk right now. So we'll see how tomorrow goes because I have a training for work and I have to talk on my camera. But I did try to do some watercolor. I realized my watercolor skills are really lacking, but I did make some bookmarks today. So I'm going to show you guys. I did a lot of like basic boring watercolor and then did some like line work above it because I really like florals. We have another version of this one. I actually made 2 of these. Another one of these, and then just like a boring green one. So I swapped out my current bookmark, and like I said, this is the other one that's kind of like a duplicate of the one I just showed you. I might try to do some more watercolor in the future and work on some techniques because it's been a long time since I've like actively done watercolor.
So I just got back from the store and I picked up 3 more paperbacks to add to my little collection. So I picked up the Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I've heard a lot of really good things about this, but I have not read this, and I thought it'd be really cute on my shelf. So we have that one. And then we also have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I have heard a lot of good things about this book as well, and it's been on my to-read list for quite some time, so I figured why not get the physical copy? It was on sale, so we have that now. And then I also picked up The Perfect Marriage, which if you have followed on my Goodreads account, you would know I actually read this last year, aka 2023. Honestly, I did not think it was this big of a book, but it was good. And again, it was on sale, so I was like, let's add it to the shelf. But I will say, this is the book where I said, as like decently good as it was, like the storyline in general, the author definitely needed to do more research before like writing this book. A lot of complaints about this book and how the author needed to do more research on like an attorney and like conflict of interest, because like she threw out like all these like weird terms and stuff, and I don't think she fully knew anything about like attorneys and lawyers and like what they actually do and like what they're allowed to do, because the main character in this, or like one of the main characters, she broke every single rule that you would think of when it comes to being a lawyer for somebody. And like she ends up defending her own husband, which I feel like wouldn't be allowed, since technically speaking she could also be a suspect. None of it makes sense. You find this out like in the first chapter. So yeah. Anyway, I still got it because it was still a decent read. I still enjoyed it, and it needs to go on my shelf. Plus it was on sale, so like, why not?
So this was a day I could definitely tell I was starting to get sick. I was coughing the entire time during my class, and my nose was so runny. So I did get some time to read. My little kitty here was cuddling with me, but I was definitely going downhill at this point.
I'm officially sick. If you can't tell by my voice, my nose is really stuffy. My sore throat is gone, but I still don't feel 100%. Like I definitely have like that feeling of just like feeling sick. I did finish reading The Love Hypothesis today. I really don't know what else to say about it, but it was cute. I enjoyed it, and I would probably rate it about a 3.5, maybe a 3.75 star. I'm like somewhere between that, kind of like how I was with Check and Mates. But I think that this is a really good start to the new year, having 2 Ellie Hazelwood books. So that's where I'm at right now. I have the next book on my Kindle, but I'm not 100% sure if I want to read this like right now. Like I don't know what I'm feeling. But I have A Court of Thorns and Roses, so maybe I should start the ACOTAR series today. But I also kind of wanted to save that for another video for you guys, so that like I could talk about the series as a whole in another video. Most of these videos are going to start being a little bit more spaced out. I know I've been doing weekly uploads, but it is kind of a lot for me, on top of streaming and half marathon training and trying to read and do other stuff. So we might start doing every other week uploads, but yeah, just want to give you guys that heads up now. I think this is going to be the next book.
So obviously I was sick pretty much this entire weekend, and honestly, I did try to read ACOTAR, and this first day here, I only got to like chapter 3, and then I kind of gave up. So I attempted it, but I did technically start the series.
Hey friends, so unfortunately I didn't get very far in ACOTAR last night. I only got a few chapters in, and right now I can say that basically just setting up the world, setting up the characters, so like nothing crazy has happened. And yeah, I'm pretty much gonna end the vlog here because we're getting started into a new week. And hopefully the next vlog or the next video I post will be all about the ACOTAR series, because the second book just became available on my Kindle this morning, so that means I have to read through this. At least once I read through this one, I'll put in a hold for like the third book. Basically, as I finish a book, I'll put in a hold for another one and see how it goes, because they're becoming available very quickly. The main thing is that I will need the third book on my Kindle because I do not have a physical copy yet. We'll play around with that, but that'll all be in the next video. So I'm gonna end it here today. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you guys have read any of these books, and if you guys like them, what you guys thought about them. And also let me know if you guys prefer weekly vlogs or monthly vlogs. I've talked about this a little bit on my socials, but if I do weekly vlogs, I am not planning on doing a weekly vlog every single week. It's just gonna be weekly vlogs as I have time for them, and possibly some of the other videos that I will be posting are going to be in the format of like a vlog. So we're just kind of playing it by ear. But yeah, if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.